Hi everyone, I'm Matt LaMarsh with Keller Williams First Atlanta, and this is Selling Sandy Springs. So let's start with who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Steve, and I work with Global Escapes, and I'm a travel consultant. So I help simplify travel planning and get to know our clients and make sure that they have a memorable, meaningful trip.
Excellent, very good. So you're very hands-on with this part of the process. I mean, a lot of people have moved. Obviously, technology has kind of commoditized a lot of travel agents. So what makes you different, and why should someone choose you over a website somewhere?
Well, there's a lot of information out there, a glut, and it's overwhelming for some folks. And we handle all the details, the intricacies, the logistics. We even have a travel app that we put on our clients' phones to make it convenient for all their documents. And we dig deep and we research and we get to know our clients so that what we plan for them is unique to their preferences and their priorities. So it's not cookie cutter. You can find things online, and some of our clients do that anyway. And we encourage that because we want to make sure that their trip is memorable for them, because you know, a lot of people want to go to Croatia, for instance, but you know, what you want to do in Croatia may be very, very different from what Mary wants to do in Croatia. So we want to make it a unique trip and customize it for what you want to do, and it's not cookie cutter.
Sure, perfect. Very good. So how did you get into this business? What made you decide, I want to help people travel the world?
Well, it's a good question, and it's an interesting story. I was actually a chiropractor for a long time, had a successful career there. And a few years ago, I was always passionate about travel, and I just decided to take a leap of faith and take a sabbatical and have a year-long journey. So I got a one-way ticket to Dublin, Ireland, and a backpack, and off I went. I had no plans, and I traveled for a full year. It was a wonderful experience. And during that time, I realized I had a new calling to help inspire others to see the world and the people and the culture and the places and the food, because I think travel is essential and it's life-changing. It certainly changed my life, and it enriches your life. You have a new perspective, you meet different people, and you connect with the world. So I just kind of realized during that trip, I had a lot of time on my hands, took a lot of thought, and I just said, you know what, this is what I want to do. So I chose to basically just change careers and help others, you know, get to those bucket lists, because life is short. I found out, you know, a good university friend passed away 3 years ago, and a couple other things happened where I said, I'm just going to take a break. And, you know, things happen. Life is short. So I'm here to help make those trips happen, because I'm tired of always hearing, oh, I always wanted to go there, I've always wanted to go here. Well, life is short, and you know, we got to sometimes probably need a little kick in the rear to help make it happen. So that's what I'm here for.
Do you have any idea how many miles you traveled during that whole year?
That's a good question. I never actually got that question, but I basically went to Dublin because I just got a one-way ticket, and I zigzagged across the globe, and I basically just kept heading east, and I wound up in Japan, and I ran out of land because that was the Pacific Ocean, and the US of A was right across the Pacific there, so that's when I came home. But you know, it was a lot of miles, and you know, a lot of funny, interesting stories, and a lot of hiccups along the way, which you would expect for a year-long journey.
Sure.
But it was just it was just a wonderful experience, and I had some friends visit me along the way because they wanted to be part of that journey.
Absolutely.
Because I have a dream, I have a journal that's going to hopefully turn into a memoir that will become a bestseller and then a blockbuster movie.
Nice.
So it was my eat, pray, love moment. Now, of course, that's all a pipe dream, but you know, I'm the type of person that will make those pipe dreams a reality.
Absolutely.
And I want to make people's bucket list trips a reality. You know, people ask, like, how can you help, and what makes you, you know, what value do you bring? And I basically just say, you know, we're insiders. We have insight and expertise that, you know, other people may or may not have, and it's those connections we have that can help enhance that trip. So, you know, we're passionate about it, we're enthusiastic, and believe me, we want you to come back and tell us that they had the greatest time of their lives. So that's why we do what we do, and it really does make a difference. Those connections and those destination specialists all over the world on the ground really can help put all the pieces together to make sure it's a meaningful trip for them.
I assume it's safe to say you can do anything from a weekend getaway all the way up to 2 weeks in Europe and everything in between, right?
Yes.
So,
and we have destination specialists all over the world on the ground. So, we are part of a travel network, a consortium that's called Signature Travel Network. So that's a lot of suppliers, tour operators, resorts, hotels, cruise lines that are in this network that ensure that they're going to give our clients VIP preferential treatment. So if I meet Mary, who Mary wants to go on a trip, whether it's a weekend getaway or that bucket list destination in Angkor Wat, Cambodia, I ask Mary a lot of questions because I want to build a relationship with Mary, so I make sure her trip is precisely what she wants to do, not what Joe wants to do. So we ask a ton of questions, and we really try to get to know the clients because we want a long-term relationship with them.
Sure.
So that what we do for them is unique, and we customize it. We do all the details and create a trip that's going to be perfect for what they want. So we have those connections all over the world that treat our clients really, really well, and gives them extra amenities like room upgrades, free breakfast, car and driver, resort credits, things that Joe and Jane can't get online. And we have travel agent portals because we want to, just basically enhance the overall travel experience.
Sure.
So, I always hear, I've always wanted to go there, and then they finally do get there, and they can do it on their own. But I do get this a lot when they say they go to Croatia, for instance. They may never get to Croatia again. And, I hear this where they said, oh, I had a great time in Croatia, for instance, but I wouldn't have stayed there, or I wouldn't have done that tour. And we eliminate that. We give them peace of mind, and they can have, confidence in their travel plans because they know somebody like me who has expertise. I have firsthand knowledge. I've been all over the world, and, we've traveled extensively. We're passionate about it. So it gives them peace of mind that all they have to do is worry about packing and having a great time.
Yeah.
And all the details are handled by us, and it's just we simplify the whole process.
Well, and that's one of the worst feelings because not only is it about the money, but it's about the time, and it is about the experience, right? And that's one of the worst feelings is to come back from a trip and have any part of it go poorly, right?
Right.
Even if it's a minor defect in the trip, right?
It can really throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah.
And so we're there for them before, during, and after the trip. So if something does go wrong, they can call us, or we have people on the ground wherever they are that can handle things. So they're going to get a lot better treatment than, say, somebody who does it on Travelocity or something, because we have people. We call the hotel, we email the hotel and say, oh, Mary's coming, make sure you take good care of her.
Sure.
And they can do nice little things for them just to really make that trip special.
Sure. Well, and especially in this world of technology where we're very detached from each other in that way, and especially as it comes to travel, it's one of those things where we've lost the personal touch. So I think it's nice to have, and I think a lot of people desire to have that personal touch as well,
Right.
not just for you in your position, but also at the hotel with the drivers,
Right.
with the flight attendants. Like there's still a very personal connection to travel.
Yeah.
You have to deal with people when you travel,
Absolutely.
right? So, so very good. Well, tell us, not just in your year, but in all of your life, where's your favorite place, or maybe top 3?
Well, I get that question a lot, and I would say that my favorite city is San Sebastian, Spain.
Okay.
It's just a wonderful place. It's got a beautiful beach. They have that food culture. They're like tapas, but they call them pinkstos. But you go into these little restaurants and you don't even order. The chefs are creating masterpieces of art that's food, and you just eat them, and you just, it's kind of like you just tell them what you ordered, and it's on an honor system, and you have some wine or drinks, and it's just a wonderful experience. It's a historic city. There's a little beach in Thailand that is my favorite, escape place that I like to think about. It's called Railay Beach, Thailand. It's in the province of Krabi, and it's just a wonderful place. I love Nepal. Vietnam was a pleasant surprise. It's just so diverse, the people and the food, and it's beautiful. I can go on and on, but there's just,
Yeah.
the world is our oyster, as they say.
Well, maybe we'll do just a strictly audio, like a podcast as well, so you can tell us about all that, because I think it's a very cool story. And, as it comes to your business, I think it's very valuable, your experience, right? Because you have traveled, you have experienced a lot of these places.
Right.
And you also know where to go and where to not go, right? Like there's a lot of value in that, because, again, a lot of money, a lot of time just to even get over to, say, a Vietnam, right? So you don't want to mess it up, especially if it's going to be the only time you go.
Yeah, I mean, people have bucket lists, and they may never get back to Vietnam because it's a big trip.
Yep.
So we want to ensure that they come back, and my goal is for my clients to come back and just want to hug me because they had the greatest time of their life.
Absolutely.
That makes me happy. That's why I do what I do, and it just kind of gives me chills thinking about it. Because, for instance, I had a mother-daughter. The daughter was about to go to university, so they had a nice mother-daughter bonding trip, and they wanted to go to Ireland. So, she's about to fly the coop, and she's going. The mom's about to become an empty nester, and it's obviously a big emotional time for a mom.
Sure.
So I planned their trip to Ireland. And I had some nice little extra amenities I was able to give at the hotel, because I reached out to the hotel. They upgraded their room. They gave them a nice little chocolate basket thing and a little note from me. And it really enhanced their trip. And she was just beyond the moon about what a great experience she had with her daughter, that she'll have memories for life.
Sure.
And that just makes me really, really happy to hear that, because I want to help in that regard with people, whether it doesn't have to be an exotic trip. I mean, they went to Ireland. It can be exotic, Machu Picchu, bucket list type of destinations, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a little long weekend in the Caribbean.
Sure.
Whatever they want to do, I'm happy to make sure it's precisely what they want.
Well, and I'm sure that made her send off to college a little easier as well.
Yeah. And I see them on Facebook, and they just keep talking about it months later, so it makes me happy.
Well, and to your earlier point, it's a great story, right? They're going to come, if they had a fantastic trip, they're going to tell people about it. There's a story there, and we all love to tell a story.
Right.
As it relates to kind of next steps, if someone is coming in, it's now 2020, if someone's coming into this year and is like, we need to think about spring break with the kids. My husband or wife is retiring this year.
Right.
Even summer vacation. We want to take a Mediterranean cruise or whatever. If someone's thinking about planning their year out vacation-wise or trips,
right,
what's the best way for them to reach out to you, to get a hold of you, and to start the process?
Well, they can certainly call me. My number is 404-662-3311. Email is steve@globalescapes.com. And we start a conversation where, again, I want to get to know them and their needs. It's funny because if it's a family trip, the dad might want one thing, the wife wants to do this, the kids want to lay on the beach. So I have to put all those pieces together and make sure everyone's happy.
Absolutely.
And again, because we have those connections with the destination specialists, etc., it gives us buying power and clout. They don't want to get out of this network, so they really do take care of our clients with special touch, which is nice. So I ask a lot of questions. I get to know what they really, really want, what's their priorities, their preferences, and then we have a conversation. I give them options, I show them proposals and things that they may want to do, and we just go back and forth until it's really perfect for what they want.
Perfect. Very good. Steve, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Very good.